this a new service the hospital is providing?
Grey's Anatomy Season 22 release date and premiere details. Grey's Anatomy fans, the countdown is officially on.
Let's go.
The beloved medical drama returns to ABC for its landmark 22nd season on Thursday, October 9th at 10/9C. Episodes will air weekly in the same slot, with streaming available the following day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. Season 22 picks up immediately after the explosive Season 21 finale, which left Grey Sloan Memorial in ruins after a gas leak caused a devastating blast. Viewers were left wondering which fan-favorite characters survived. Showrunner Meg Marinis has confirmed the premiere won't skip ahead in time, meaning fans will witness the chaos and aftermath in real time. Among those at risk are Monica Beltran, Natalie Morales, Jules Millen, Miranda Bailey, Teddy Altman, Kim Raver, Lucas Adams, and Richard Webber. Meanwhile, Link, who had just married Joe Wilson, was directly in the operating room during the explosion, making his fate one of the most suspenseful cliffhangers yet. Camilla Luddington teased that the season premiere is even crazier than the finale, calling it one of the most challenging episodes she's ever filmed in her 14 years on the show. Expect high-stakes action, emotional fallout, and shocking twists. On top of the cliffhanger, fans can also look forward to Ellen Pompeo's Meredith Grey returning, balancing her Alzheimer's research in Boston with time at Grey Sloan. And in huge news, Patrick Dempsey will reprise his role as Derek Shepherd for at least 7 episodes, marking one of the most anticipated comebacks in Grey's history. With 18 episodes planned, Grey's Anatomy Season 22 promises to deliver heartbreak, resilience, and the kind of drama that has kept audiences hooked since 2005. Hey lovely viewers, welcome to our channel Grey's Anatomy Official. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 release date. When the beloved medical drama returns to ABC, get ready for more medical drama and more regular drama, because Grey's Anatomy returns to ABC this fall. In Season 22 of the show, Meredith Grey, executive producer Ellen Pompeo, will return for another season that is sure to keep you reaching for the tissues. But when exactly can you plan for the release date of Grey's Anatomy Season 22? The Grey's Anatomy Season 22 release date is Thursday, October 9th at 10 o'clock Eastern/Pacific on ABC. New episodes of the 18-episode season will continue to air in that time slot on a weekly basis. After the episodes have aired on ABC, they will be available for streaming the next day on Hulu and Hulu on Disney+. It hasn't been too long since the previous season of Grey's Anatomy concluded in May 2025. And given the number of exciting TV release dates this fall, you'll want to carefully plan your viewing schedule. Currently, there is not a trailer available for Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Grey's Anatomy Season 21 concluded with an explosive cliffhanger. A bomb exploded inside Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. While we know Meredith, Ben Warren, Jason George, and Joe Wilson, Camilla Luddington, probably weren't in the building, it's possible that some of the other characters might have been caught in the blast. The show also stars Alexis Floyd as Simone Griffith, Anthony Hill as Winston Dugu, Adelaide Kane as Jules Millen, Kevin McKidd as Owen Hunt, James Pickens Jr. as Richard Webber, Kim Raver as Teddy Altman, Katarina Scorsone as Amelia Shepherd, and Chandra Wilson as Miranda Bailey. Plus, Patrick Dempsey is meant to return as Derek Shepherd for at least 7 episodes of Grey's Anatomy Season 22. Why Grey's Anatomy's Camilla Luddington says season premiere is even crazier than finale. Camilla Luddington is teasing a heart-pounding return for Grey's Anatomy this fall. The Shonda Rhimes series ended Season 21 with a quite literally explosive finale, and the actress, who has played Dr. Joe Wilson on the show for nearly 14 years, shared that returning for the upcoming Season 22 premiere has been difficult. "There are some premieres that I'm excited to come back and film," Camilla told E! News in an exclusive interview. "We've had some really funny openers in this one. I think I can say this, I was really dreading." As she put it, "The finale was crazy. Our premiere is even crazier. There is so much going on." Considering the last episode ended on a cliffhanger, leaving the fate of Joe's new husband, Dr. Atticus Lincoln, Chris Carmack, up in the air, Camilla was anxious for what was to come, adding, "I had to take a deep breath going back. It's been a lot." Since returning to work on Grey's in July, the 41-year-old admitted the premiere, which will air on ABC October 9th, has been hanging over her head. "I don't even know how they're going to film it in regular filming days, like this should be a 3-week movie," she added. It's wild. There's so much going on. There's so much action nonstop. I think viewers are going to be really excited to watch, but also, there's some hard moments. It'll be understandably hard for Jo. It's a rough episode for her, Camilla noted. It's really rough. Given the emotional exhaustion Camilla has faced with her latest Grey storyline, she has been utilizing every mom hack in the book for her and husband Matthew Allen's kids Hayden, 7, and Lucas, 5. Indeed, the couple are currently juggling work and childcare on their own, and Camilla has made packing school lunches one less thing to worry about through her partnership with Gedimus. From Gerber. One of the most frustrating things as a mom is that your kid comes home, you open the backpack up, you open the food up, and they're like, everything's still there, and they're like, I'm hungry, she explained. You're like, you didn't eat your lunch. What I love about this snack is that it gets in their lunchbox. At least I know that section is going to be eaten. Camilla admits she also keeps a stash in her car, which makes the drive home from work and school much easier. My kids are so hangry when they get home from school, she detailed. That car ride is one of my least favorite car rides in the world. But when she has Gedimus on hand, Camilla added, I'll have a peaceful car ride. The upcoming Grey's Anatomy episode may be one of the most shocking yet, but keep reading for a look back on some of the show's most memorable moments. From booty call to boss. Incoming surgical intern Meredith Grey, Ellen Pompeo, was thrown for quite a loop in Grey's Anatomy's series premiere when she learned that the hunky one-night stand she picked up at the bar played by Patrick Dempsey was actually her new boss, renowned surgeon Dr. Derek Shepard. Oops. Addison's arrival. Fans were just as stunned as poor Meredith in the Season 1 finale when Addison Montgomery, Kate Walsh, waltzed into Seattle Grace and right up to Maren Derek, introducing herself with the now iconic, "You must be the woman who's been screwing my husband." Bombs away. When Grey's Anatomy was given the plum post-Super Bowl slot in its second season, fans watched tensely as Meredith decided to shove her hand into a body cavity containing a live explosive to keep it from detonating. And just as we began to breathe a sigh of relief when Bomb Squad Chief Dylan, guest star Kyle Chandler, began to walk away with the removed explosive, it blew, taking the poor guy out in the process. Denny's demise. Fans watched as Izzy, Katherine Heigl, fell in love with the effortlessly charming Denny Duquette, Jeffrey Dean Morgan, as he awaited a much-needed heart transplant throughout the second half of Season 2, falling for him right along with her. And when her wild plan to cut his LVAD wire to move him up the transplant list failed spectacularly, resulting in his death in the season finale, it was confirmed that Grey's Anatomy was not here to give us the happy endings we wanted. Meredith's near-death experience. What was more surprising during Season 3's Big Ferry accident? Meredith nearly drowning after being knocked into freezing cold waters at the accident site, or her later admission that she'd given up trying to survive? Lexi's arrival. At the end of Season 3, a surgical intern named Lexi Kyler Lee arrived at Seattle Grace, first meeting Derek the night prior to starting at the hospital in a moment that mirrored his first interaction with Mare 2 seasons prior, but thankfully did not end with them sleeping together, and then introducing herself to George O'Malley T.R. Knight in the intern locker room. Oh, and her last name? Why, Grey, of course. And just like that, Meredith's younger half-sister, one of 2 daughters raised by her father Thatcher and his second wife Susan, was added to the mix. Ghost Denny. 2.5 seasons after he'd perished, Denny was back and his ghost was having sex with Izzy. In one of the most ludicrous moments in the show's history, Ghost Denny was used to signal to viewers and to Izzy herself that something was wrong. That something was ultimately proven to be stage 4 metastatic melanoma, which had spread to, among other places, her brain. While fans were expecting Izzy to bite the bullet in the Season 5 finale, the fact that no one could find George should have clued us into the fact that something was up with poor O'Malley. When Meredith finally realized what the John Doe who'd been hit by a bus while trying to save a woman on the street was writing in her hand, 007, his cruel nickname in earlier seasons, she tried to alert the surgeons working on him. But it was too late. He flatlined and died. The shooting. File this one under the most disturbing episode in Grey's history. In the Season 6 finale, the grieving husband of a deceased patient arrived at the hospital, fresh off its merger with neighboring Mercy West, with a loaded gun and nothing left to live for. A few doctors were murdered, several more injured, and the image of Bailey Chunder Wilson being dragged by her feet out from under a patient's bed will forever haunt us. Thankfully, she survived. Mare and Derek's baby wasn't so lucky. After he was shot, she believed he'd died and had a traumatic miscarriage. The plane crash. 2 seasons after the horrific hospital shooting, Shonda Rhimes decided it was time to torture a handful of docs yet again. In the 8th season finale, a plane carrying Meredith, Derek, Christina Young, Sandra Oh, Lexi, Mark Sloan, Eric Dane, and Arizona Robbins, Jessica Capshaw, traveling to Boise, Idaho to perform surgery on conjoined twins, crashed in the wilderness, leaving them stranded and wounded, with no one at home even knowing they'd gone down. The accident claimed Mark and Lexi's lives and Arizona's leg, while nearly leaving Derek's hand permanently injured. Burke's return. How would Grey's send off Mare's person Christina at the end of season 10 after Sandra Oh decided to move on? Why, by having ex-Preston Burke, Isaiah Washington, pop back up after leaving her at the altar in season 3 to offer her his hospital in Switzerland. That the show brought Washington back after his highly contentious exit, which involved him referring to co-star TR Knight by a heinous gay slur, was truly surprising. Maggie's arrival. As the show said goodbye to Christina in the season 10 finale, it welcomed her replacement as the head of cardiothoracic surgery, Dr. Maggie Pierce. And when the character, played by Kelly McCreary, revealed to Richard James Pickens Jr., in the episode's final moments that she was Dr. Ellis Grey's daughter, asking if he knew the legendary doctor, he wasn't the only one stunned to learn that he had a daughter and that Mare had another sister. Derek's departure. Literally no one saw it coming when, with a handful of episodes left to air in season 11, Derek was killed off, the victim of a head-on collision just after rescuing a family on the side of the road involved in a car crash of their own. Patrick Dempsey had just recently extended his contract on the show, making his departure truly unexpected. Killing off Mare's husband may have been Shonda Rhimes' only feasible option to get rid of the character in a way that didn't render an 11-year love story completely worthless, but that didn't mean it hurt any less. Meredith's attack. As if Mare hadn't been through enough up to this point, in the 9th episode of season 12, she was violently attacked by a patient in a brutal episode that saw her jaw broken and then wired shut in order to restore her hearing. Her panic attack when her kids won't see her during her recovery was a stunning moment of acting from Ellen Pompeo. Alex's departure. How would the show explain Alex Karev's sudden absence after original star Justin Chambers walked away from his role midway through season 16? By having him write letters to wife Jo, Camilla Luddington, Mare and Bailey explaining that he'd gotten in contact with Izzy years after she ghosted and sent him divorce papers, only to learn that she'd been raising their twins all these years on a farm somewhere, and he'd chosen his newfound family over his life in Seattle. If anyone tells you they saw that coming, we'll show you a liar. The death of Dr. DeLuca. In season 17, fans watched as Dr. Andrew DeLuca, Giacomo Gianniotti, met his untimely end. After overcoming his mental health struggles, DeLuca found himself as an attending at Grey Sloan Memorial Hospital. Yet, in typical Grey's fashion, Dr. DeLuca's back-on-track life was cut tragically short when he was stabbed by a human trafficker's accomplice, who survived the Grey's Anatomy explosion. An exclusive look at the season 22 premiere reveals clues. Season 21 of Grey's Anatomy ended with an explosion in one of the Grey Sloan Memorial operating rooms. Showrunner Meg Marinis breaks down who is in danger as the action picks up in the season 22 premiere, and exclusive photos provide more clues. Marinis also reveals how the new intern played by Trevor Jackson is mixing up the dynamics, and how much we can expect to see Ellen Pompeo's Meredith Grey this season. Grey's Anatomy finales are always explosive, but not usually in a literal sense. In May, the ABC drama concluded with a hostage situation resolved peacefully, only to be followed up with the last-minute surprise that an explosive gas had been released into one of the operating rooms. Just before the credits rolled, a ball of fire burst from Grey Sloan Memorial, leaving fans to wonder who is in danger. Now, Entertainment Weekly has exclusive photos from the season 22 premiere that provide a few answers. But just a few weeks ago, not even the writers knew who would survive. I knew what I thought initially, showrunner Meg Marinis tells EW, but I wanted to wait until my writers were back, so that people could also fight and argue with me. And so some things changed, some didn't. But I want to give everyone a chance to fight for what happens to specific characters. So who should we be worried about? Monica Beltran, Natalie Morales, and Jules Millen, Adelaide Kane, were on the floor preparing for surgery. Miranda Bailey, Chandra Wilson, was at the scheduling board, so also at risk. Teddy Altman, Kim Raver, and Lucas Adams, Nico Taro, were both separately on their way to find Richard Weber, James Pickens Jr., so any of those three might have been nearby. Then there's Ben Warren, Jason George, who ran into the hospital the moment he saw the explosion. The one person we know was in one of the operating rooms is Link, Chris Carmack, who in the finale got married to Joe Wilson, Camilla Luddington, and found out the twins they're expecting are girls, so there are plenty of reasons the emotional stakes would be high if he's put in peril. We clearly saw Link in immediate danger, Marinus confirms. We'll just have to see whether Link makes it through this explosion. The exclusive Season 22 premiere photo above doesn't help matters, with Winston Dugu Anthony Hill holding back a clearly emotional Amelia Shepherd, Katerina Scorsone, who was once married to and co-parents a son with Link. Marinus confirms the premiere will pick up right where the Season 21 finale left off. I wanted to return right to the chaos, she says. But there of course will be drama beyond the explosion, especially following the revelation that one of the new interns, played by Trevor Jackson, was the guy Simone Griffiths, Alexis Floyd, hooked up with the night before. We always communicate with Ellen and her team and work around her schedule, but she feels the show is very important to her, Marinus continues. I just emailed with her this morning, and we'll see her on set the end of this week. We're just excited to have her back. Meredith started the Season 21 finale, planning to sell her shares of the hospital to fund her Alzheimer's research. But after inserting herself into the hostage situation and a little guilt-tripping from Weber, she ends the episode informing Catherine Fox, Debbie Allen, that she plans on spending her summers in Seattle and getting more time in her too, which feels like home to her. I think the way that we did it in this season finale is a great way to do it, Marinus says, of finding an organic way to allow Meredith to pop in and out of Grey Sloan. It allows us to see the character in Seattle just as much as we see her in Boston, and we'll be able to see her maybe interact with our residents a little bit more, which is fun because Meredith is such an amazing teacher, and this kind of rebellious surgeon that I think we've all come to love. Obviously she's going to be Meredith, and we will probably see some rule-breaking at one point, Marinus adds. I'm just lucky to have Ellen still as involved with the show as she is. Yes, but let's get back to the explosion. Marinus says everyone's fate will be revealed in the premiere episode, but there's obviously going to be some hospital rebuilding that needs to happen. And so we're going to play the aftermath for more than just the first episode. Absolutely. The emotional trauma as well as the hospital needing to be put back together. Grey's Anatomy, primetime American television medical drama that debuted on the American Broadcasting Company ABC network in 2005. The series enjoyed top 10 ratings, earned numerous Emmy Award nominations, and won the 2007 Golden Globe for Best Drama. Grey's Anatomy's title was inspired by the classic medical text Grey's Anatomy and alludes to the show's main character, Meredith Grey, played by Ellen Pompeo. The program focuses on the personal and professional lives of surgical interns and their medical mentors. Other notable characters included Derek Shepherd, Patrick Dempsey, Miranda Bailey, Chandra Wilson, Richard Weber, James Pickens Jr., Christina Young, Sandra Oh, and Izzy Stevens, Katherine Heigl. Most of the action takes place in Seattle Grace Hospital, where Meredith and her peers face obstacles, first as interns striving to become residents and later as residents who must define their career paths while mentoring interns of their own. Although the field of medicine is always a core component of the show's plots, much of the drama in Grey's Anatomy draws on the characters' personal tribulations. The show adopts a sex-driven and sometimes humorous treatment of its subject matter. The intense demands of the medical profession necessitate a strong support group, but the relationships that emerge often exacerbate the already difficult tasks of maturing in medicine and in life. The characters' love lives provide an ongoing saga, as the medical staff fall in love with each other or, occasionally, with patients. The word Grey in the show's title also highlights the complex situations in which Meredith and her colleagues find themselves, where there are no clear-cut black-and-white solutions. Grey's Anatomy was created by Shonda Rhimes, who became known for creating series that featured diverse casts and strong female characters. The show went through various cast changes over the years, including several high-profile departures. The success of Grey's Anatomy led to the spin-offs Private Practice, 2007-13, and Station 19, 2018. Grey's Anatomy Season 22 images tease who survived finale explosion after the shocking explosion at the end of the Grey's Anatomy Season 21 finale. Brand new photos give some insight into who did and didn't survive the horrifying ordeal. Grey's Anatomy is known for shocking storylines that put its characters at risk of dying, like Derek Shepherd, George O'Malley, Lexi Gray, and Mark Sloan. After some of the characters were held hostage, Grey's Anatomy Season 21 ended with an explosion at the hospital when a patient's family member caused a gas tank to blow up. Fans have had to wait several months for an answer over who lived and who might have died. EW shared brand new photos from Grey's Anatomy Season 22 that shed light on the traumatic situation. In one image, Meredith Grey looks concerned while sitting on the edge of a hospital bed occupied by Dr. Leah Westbrook. The second photo shows a distraught Amelia Shepherd in a hospital room while Winston Dugu tries to keep her in place. Alongside the release of these three photos, Grey's Anatomy showrunner Meg Marinis told EW what fans can expect when the medical drama returns on October 9th. She acknowledged that Link is in immediate danger since he was in the operating room when the explosion occurred. "We clearly saw Link in immediate danger. We'll just have to see whether Link makes it through this explosion. I wanted to return right to the chaos. There's obviously going to be some hospital rebuilding that needs to happen. And so we're going to play the aftermath for more than just the first episode. Absolutely. The emotional trauma as well as the hospital needing to be put back together." What Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere photos mean. After big events unfold, sometimes a TV show might jump forward in time. However, the Grey's Anatomy Season 22 premiere will continue the storyline right from when the finale ended, so there will be a lot of chaos at Grey Sloan Memorial. As a result of the explosion, the hospital will have to undergo some construction. All the aftermath, from any characters that might die to the physical state of the building, will continue well after the premiere. Link isn't the only person at Grey Sloan who's in danger. Monica Beltran, Jules Millen, Miranda Bailey, Teddy Altman, Lucas Adams, and Richard Webber were all inside the hospital at the time of the explosion, with Beltran and Millen on the exact same floor. Ben Warren may have been outside amid the explosion, but he rushed back inside right afterward. The photo of a distraught Amelia appears to be the biggest indicator that Link might have died. However, this could just be Grey's Anatomy's way of throwing fans off the scent and directing attention at Link when it may end up being another character who didn't survive. Our take on the explosion aftermath on Grey's Anatomy. Since there won't be any time jumps when Grey's Anatomy returns, fans will get to find out everyone's fates at the same time as the characters. The premiere will be very chaotic, as Marinis teased, which will make for a very captivating premiere. The writers and producers of Grey's Anatomy are not afraid to kill off major and long-running characters, so there are several whom fans should be worried about, including Link. With 6 weeks left until the premiere, the anticipation is building. How Grey's Anatomy tackled America's biggest medical challenges. Popular medical drama Grey's Anatomy has long reflected the real-life challenges of the American healthcare system. The show has addressed a myriad of issues that resonate with both doctors and patients alike. By depicting these problems, it offers viewers a peek into the complexities of healthcare in America. Here are 5 times Grey's Anatomy mirrored major medical challenges in the United States. Addressing healthcare inequality. One storyline shed light on the differences in healthcare access between different socioeconomic groups. It illustrated how people from lower-income backgrounds often find themselves unable to afford adequate medical care due to financial constraints and lack of insurance coverage. This parallels real-world numbers, where around 9% of Americans are still uninsured, affecting their ability to seek necessary treatments. Mental health awareness. The show has also tackled mental health issues, making them an appropriate topic of discussion in the medical community. Characters have tackled depression, anxiety, and PTSD, mirroring how mental health has gained prominence in today's world. In fact, nearly 20% of adults in America suffer from mental illness every year, underscoring the need for more support and resources. Organ donation challenges. Organ donation is another critical issue portrayed on Grey's Anatomy. The show has depicted the emotional and ethical dilemmas surrounding organ transplants. In real life, over 100,000 people are on transplant waiting lists in America at any given time, underscoring the urgent need for more donors. Impact of medical errors. Medical errors have been a recurring theme on Grey's Anatomy, showing what they could mean for a patient's life. These storylines reflect a major challenge within healthcare systems across the globe. According to studies, medical errors account for many preventable deaths every year in America alone. Navigating pandemic situations. The show recently tackled pandemic scenarios that mirror global health crises like COVID-19. It explored how hospitals manage overwhelming patient loads while ensuring staff safety during such events. This portrayal resonates with real-world experiences where hospitals faced unprecedented challenges during pandemics affecting millions globally, including economic impacts reaching billions of dollars across various sectors. 20 TV show deaths we still haven't gotten over. Even though deaths in TV shows are purely fictional, the loss of a character audiences once loved can still be difficult to process. Keep scrolling to read about 20 of them from TV shows that still get us worked up. Finn Hudson's death in Glee was unexpected, as creator Ryan Murphy worked the storyline into the show's 5th season after the actor who played Hudson, Corey Monteith, tragically died in 2013 due to combined drug intoxication. The episode, titled The Quarterback, was seen by over 7 million viewers and received positive feedback from critics. David Rosen's death in Scandal still doesn't make sense to us. The gladiator in a suit survived much controversy throughout the show's 7 seasons, so to have him smothered to death by the former vice president in the series finale feels kind of off. Lincoln Campbell became the ultimate hero in the TV show Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. after he sacrificed himself in a nuclear explosion to save those closest to him during a pivotal time in the series. Another Grey's Anatomy death that makes us tear up whenever we see it is that of George O'Malley. The surgical intern was pronounced brain dead, intense we know, after being hit by a bus, yes, even more intense, during a dramatic Season 6 episode in 2009. Succession fans knew former CEO and businessman Logan Roy would die eventually. However, that didn't make his death on a private jet during a random episode in the 4th season any easier to deal with. Plus, to make the scene even more emotional, while Roy was receiving chest compressions, his children had to say their final goodbye to him while taking turns speaking on a cell phone. Derek Shepherd's death in Grey's Anatomy was not easy to deal with. However, it saved many hearts from being shattered in future seasons. Plus, other dreamy doctors would eventually join the cast as the show progressed. Pussy Washington's emotional death in Orange is the New Black came during the 4th season's penultimate episode, when the inmate was accidentally killed during a prison protest. The unexpected death sparked chaos in the prison, as the complaints from those jailed regarding the building's correctional officers were finally being heard. Will Piper Perabo return for Grey's Anatomy Season 22? Here's what the actress says. We're now just over 2 months out from the return of Grey's Anatomy for Season 22, and there are still many questions about what's coming next on the landmark medical/disaster drama. Chief among them? Who, if anyone, was hurt or killed in that surgical wing explosion in the Season 21 finale. There were several characters shown to be directly in harm's way at the time of the blast, and others whose exact location was unclear. One character whose fate seemed to be sealed was that of Piper Perabo's Jenna Gatlin, the desperate mother who held up an entire operating room with a gas tank and a flint striker to force Amelia Shepherd, Katerina Scorsone, to perform a risky surgery on her daughter. After the operation proved to be successful, Jenna revealed she was bluffing, and the tank was empty. She was still arrested on the spot and carted away from the scene. Believing that the floor was safe, some other surgeons began to carry on as usual. However, Jenna's husband revealed that the tank wasn't empty, and soon after, the leaked acetylene ignited into a giant inferno. Grey's Anatomy, How Do I Live? While the interns are excited to transition to second-year residency, an ordinary day at Grey Sloan takes an unexpected turn when a medical emergency unfolds in the operating room, endangering lives inside them. Now that her actions have potentially caused a fatality, however unintentional, will we get to see Perabo return to reveal her character's reaction? TV Insider caught up with the actress to discuss her newest role, a much more intentional and overt antagonist, in the upcoming spy thriller series Butterfly, and asked if we'll get to see her in Grey's Anatomy Season 22. It was so fun when they called. I'm on a streak of just like evil, powerful women, she said. I literally was talking with the writer's room about that, because it literally is like, boom, season out, and so I was talking with them about the immediate aftermath because it's not totally clear where everyone is in the building. When you see the explosion, it wasn't clear which hallway certain people are in. So I talked to them a lot about that immediate moment. And also, is escape possible? Given the chaos of the explosion, could I escape? Real Housewives of Atlanta's star joins Brilliant Minds cast for Season 2 premiere. The Season 2 premiere of Brilliant Minds is just weeks away, and lineup of guest stars is pretty exciting. The Zachary Quinto-led medical drama is set to start strong with the first episode of the season, after leaving the first season on a cliffhanger. To kick things off for Season 2, Brilliant Minds is bringing in Real Housewives of Atlanta star Porsha Williams to stir things up. Williams confirmed the news at the end of July after Variety reported that she was added as one of 4 exciting guest stars who will make appearances. With the season premiere coming up in just a few short weeks, we're taking a look at Williams' role and how she'll be moving the plot forward for Dr. Oliver Wolf and the rest of the crew at the fictional Bronx General Hospital. What character will Porsha Williams play on Brilliant Minds Season 2? According to the synopsis, Williams will play the role of Bitsy, an affluent Upper West Side housewife who sees Dr. Carol Pierce, Tamburla Perry, at her private practice. She knows all the gossip about everyone on every medical board in New York City. Her appearance comes in the Season 2 premiere episode, and after that, we likely won't see Bitsy again. There's little else known about Williams' appearance, as much of the Brilliant Minds Season 2 details have been kept under wraps. However, we can assume that with Bitsy showing up in Dr. Pierce's office, she'll spill some dirt on Dr. Wolf or members of his team that will help move the storylines forward and even open up new ones. What roles is Porsha Williams known for? This is not Williams' acting debut. And while she is best known for her time on reality TV, the RHOA star has been featured in guest roles before on Insecure and Star. She has also played parts in TV movies, including Sharknado 5, Global Swarming, and, most recently, Single Black Female 3, The Final Chapter. What we know about Brilliant Minds Season 2. The Season 1 finale left fans on a cliffhanger when Dr. Wolf's father, Dr. Noah Wolf, Mandy Patinkin, showed up after claims that he'd been dead for years. That threw Zachary Quinto's character for a loop, as he had to wrestle with knowing that both parents lied to him while also working in his mother's hospital. The real dilemma is that the elder Dr. Wolf reveals he came to see his son because he is suffering from a rare disorder, and only his son can help him figure out what is going on. Season 2 will seemingly pick back up with the father-son face-off, as the younger Dr. Wolf tangles with feelings of anger and betrayal. Meanwhile, the show must go on at Bronx General Hospital, where Dr. Wolf and his team are tasked with diagnosing a host of rare neurological disorders. Thanks for watching this video. Please hit the subscribe button and give this